Welcome to Timeless Prosperity. This channel is for anyone who feels stuck between who they are and who they know they could be. We explore timeless self-help texts and translate them into simple, modern conversations. Just a reminder, knowledge by its own isn't power. The power lies in applied knowledge. Think of it like this. Learning to swim by reading a book does not mean you know how to swim. Studying a recipe doesn't feed anyone. Listening to this channel is the first step. Make these your own and practice and use them, for they are not really your own until you have used them. Chapter 8. The superiority of this method. This method produces genuinely remarkable results. And the reason is straightforward. If you follow the steps as outlined, it's nearly impossible to fail, except with those two small groups mentioned earlier, who together make up less than 3% of people. But if you skip the groundwork, if you try to put someone under right away, without the explanations and simple exercises that help them accept suggestions and turn them into autosuggestions, you'll only succeed with highly sensitive individuals. And those people are rare. Note: the key isn't finding special people. It's training anyone to access this capacity. Most can learn it in minutes. Why we don't need hypnotic sleep. Early on, I used to believe suggestions only worked during sleep, so I'd always try to hypnotize my patients first. Then I realized it's not necessary. Now, I skip the sleep induction entirely, and here's why that's better. When you tell someone, "I'm going to put you to sleep," many feel a flicker of fear or resistance, even if they don't mean to. That tiny inner no blocks receptivity. But when you say instead, "I'm not going to put you to sleep," there's no need. Just close your eyes so you're not distracted. Something shifts. They relax. They listen. They trust. And often, sometimes not the first time, but very soon, they drift into a natural, deep rest, simply soothed by the steady rhythm of the voice. Then they open their eyes, surprised. Wait, did I just fall asleep? Note: sleep isn't the goal. Receptive attention is. When the mind isn't fighting, healing can begin. To the skeptics, come see for yourself. If you're reading this and thinking, "This sounds too good to be true," I get it. All I can say is, come watch it in action. Visit, observe, ask questions. Let the results speak. Facts convince more than arguments ever could. Autosuggestion happens everywhere, not just in sessions. Don't think autosuggestion only works in a formal setting like the one I've described. It's happening all the time, often without anyone realizing it. Consider a doctor. If they say, "There's nothing more I can do," this condition is incurable. The patient's unconscious may accept that as truth, and the prognosis worsens. But if they say, "This is serious, yes, but with care, time, and patience, recovery is possible," the patient's unconscious latches onto that idea, and often, healing follows. Or think about prescriptions. If a doctor hands over a script with no explanation, the medicine may have less impact. But if they explain, "Take this at night, with food. It will help reduce inflammation and support your body's healing," the patient's belief in the treatment boosts its effectiveness. Note: this isn't about deception. It's about recognizing that how we frame care influences outcomes. Belief isn't a side effect. It's part of the medicine. A note to medical professionals. If there are doctors or pharmacists reading this, please don't think I'm criticizing your work. I'm genuinely on your side, and I'd love to see suggestion studies included in medical training. Why? Because it helps patients and practitioners. Here's a practical thought. When someone visits a doctor, they're usually hoping for a prescription. They don't always realize that lifestyle, rest, and nutrition do much of the healing, but they want a tangible remedy. So if a doctor only recommends diet and exercise, the patient may leave feeling dismissed. They might think, "Was this visit even worth it?" and seek care elsewhere. My suggestion? Prescribe medicine when appropriate. But whenever possible, use preparations you compound yourself, rather than heavily advertised brand-name products. Why? Because a personalized prescription from their doctor carries more weight in the patient's mind than a pill they could buy anywhere. Note: Coué isn't advocating unnecessary medication. He's highlighting how confidence in treatment, fostered by the practitioner's presence and framing, amplifies healing. The tool isn't the pill. It's the belief it represents. How suggestion works. The simple mechanism behind the magic. To truly understand how autosuggestion creates change, remember this core idea. Your unconscious self is the chief operator of all your bodily functions. So, if you can help it believe that a struggling organ needs to function well, the order is sent instantly. The organ responds calmly, reliably, and begins working normally again, either right away or gradually. That's how suggestion can stop bleeding, ease constipation, help fibrous tumors shrink, support recovery from paralysis, tuberculosis, varicose veins, ulcers, and more. It's not magic. It's biology responding to belief. Real example: stopping a dental hemorrhage. Let me share a case I witnessed in the office of Dr. Coué, a dentist in Troyes. A young woman I'd helped recover from 8 years of asthma wanted a tooth extracted. Knowing she was highly sensitive, I offered to help her feel no pain during the procedure. She agreed happily. On the day of the extraction, I stood facing her, looked steadily at her, and repeated calmly, "You feel nothing. You feel nothing." While continuing, I signaled the dentist. In seconds, the tooth was out, and she didn't flinch. As often happens, bleeding followed. I asked the dentist to hold off on any styptic, bleeding stop agents, and instead let me try suggestion alone. I had her focus on me again and said, "In 2 minutes, the bleeding will stop on its own." We waited. She spat once or twice more, then stopped. When she opened her mouth, we saw a natural blood clot had formed in the socket. Healing had begun. Note: no drugs, no tools. Just a clear, repeated idea accepted by the unconscious, and the body responded exactly as if a medical agent had been applied. How did this happen? Simple. Under the influence of the thought, "The bleeding is stopping," her unconscious sent a signal to the tiny blood vessels. Constrict. They obeyed, just as they would have in response to adrenaline or another hemostatic. The body has its own pharmacy. Autosuggestion helps it access it. Another example: fibrous tumors. The same principle explains how a fibrous tumor can shrink and disappear. When the unconscious accepts the idea, "This is going away," the brain signals the blood vessels feeding the tumor to constrict. Those vessels obey. The tumor, now deprived of nourishment, begins to wither. It dries up, gets reabsorbed, and eventually vanishes. Note: Coué isn't claiming this replaces necessary medical care. He's showing that the mind-body connection is a real, usable pathway, one that works with conventional treatment, not against it. The takeaway: autosuggestion isn't about overriding medicine. It's about unlocking the body's innate capacity to heal by aligning the imagination with the outcome we want. And the best part? Once someone learns to guide their own unconscious, they carry that power with them, every day, in every situation. Check in tomorrow for the next chapter. If you like this type of content, please like and share. It will keep me motivated to produce more.